Good evening, racing fans. Welcome to racing action from Grand River Raceway for this Monday evening. Note our first race will go to post in approximately 16 minutes. Let's get a look at the changes on this evening's card of racing. Note race 1 will go as programmed. No changes race 1. In the second race, number 5, Enchanted Mission. The owner should read Danny Murray. Danny Murray should be listed as the owner. And note that number 6, played by Swan, is scratched. Scratched is number 6, played by Swan, out of the second. Race number 3, missing chart line 2 Devil's Peak, raced at Hanover on Saturday and finished 6th, beaten 9 3/4 in 2:01 and 2. Preston Shaw was the driver. And note that number 3, Sports Nation, is scratched. Scratch 3. Sports Nation out of the third. Race number 4, scratch number 8, Adore Him. Race 4, scratch 8, Adore Him. Race 5, number 8, Tune driver to be announced. TBA on number 8, Tune in the 5th. Races 6, 7, and 8 have no changes. No changes, races 6, 7, or 8. Race number 9, number 8, Dover Sealster. An equipment change, a bridle change, blind to open on number 8, Dover Sealster in the 9th. Race 10, no changes. No changes, race 10. And in race number 11, number 9, Momera, the driver should be listed as J.R. Plant. J.R. Plant drives the 9. Also noted equipment change, bridle change, blinkers to blind bridle. That's blinkers to blind on number 9, Momera. Once again, reviewing races 1 and 2. Race 1, no changes. No changes in the first. And the second race, note that number 5, Enchanted Mission, the owner should read Danny Murray, and number 6, played by Swan, is scratched. Field for race number 1 on Parade 1. Bryden Better Be. Nick Boyd for Randy Henry and Bryden Farms. Number 2 is Bet You Love Me. Jay Harris for Mark Herlihy and Rebecca Williamson and Connie McTaggart. Number 3, Georgia January. Frank McDonough for Alan Fair and Elizabeth Fair. And number 4, Let's Roar. Jason Ryan for Greg McNair and Hunt Racing. Number 5, She's in the Moment. Austin Sorry for Tisha Symes and Blair Hanson and Natasha Campbell. Number 6 is Priceless Shadow. Daryl Thiessen for Robert Doyle and Paul Kelly. Number 7, Dirty Beach. Colin Kelly for Kyle Bossons. And number 8, Jam Sports Fan. Travis Henry for Isabel Darvo and Jason and Gordon Redmond. And number 9, Share the Moment. Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen. Field of 9, race number 1. Let's look at this field. We'll start with number 2, Bet You Love Me. Could love getting away from Mohawk, who's had 2 starts there. You do see racing in an OSS Gold last time out. Now, didn't fare well, but still put up a mile of 55. And the start before that in a 2-year-old condition was second by 2 lengths and 55 and 1. Certainly shows racing very well from off the pace. In fact, that second was almost 13 lengths back at the quarter. In fact, almost 17 back at the half. And look at the back half, 54 and 1. Bet You Love Me, 4-5 on the board. Third career start. Inside post advantage as well. Number 9, Share the Moment, comes in off of a win here in 58 and 1, and also does show a 54 and 4 mile racing at Mohawk 2 races ago. And you also see, well, 2 starts here, the last 2 starts here, a winner in both. Also did have a grassroots start here, 56 and 4 mile back in mid-July. Share the Moment, though, won the last 2 starts here and was able to win from the trailer post in 57 and 2, August the 10th. So Share the Moment and Travis Cullen is the second play on the board at 5-2. Number 8, Jam Sports Fan. Well, had an inside post last race and didn't leave, but yet came on to win. So maybe the outside post position won't be all that much of a problem. That was the debut for the sports writer filly, and she was able to race pretty darn well, able to grab the lead just past the half, circle up by 3/4 and grab the lead. Jam Sports Fan is one that, well, might be able to overcome post 8 and at least be one to be a threat to be in the top 3. And one more to take a look at is number 4, Let's Roar, and Jason Ryan. Well, one that has been kind of traveling all around the place. We saw this one here back in the middle of July at grassroots. Didn't go well there. But also scored a win the next start out in Hanover in 2 minutes 1. Then made a break the next start, but recovered really nicely. Got placed back, but still it was a solid outing at Leamington. And then Let's Roar last race. A solid effort at Sarnia. Let's Roar and Jason Ryan, set up by Greg McNair, is one that can possibly find a way onto the top 3 or 4 here. Price of 11-1. Fans have narrowed the top 3 down, though, to 2, 8, and 9, or 2, 9, and 8 in that order. And we'll see if that's the way it pans out. We're just about a minute or so to post time. Gate is rolling for race number 1, shaking up positions. Bryden Better Be, Bet You Love Me on the inside, with Georgia January to the out in the center. Let's Roar, She's in the Moment. On the outside, Priceless Shadow, Dirty Beach, and Jam Sports Fan. The second tier, Share the moment. The field for race number 1. First of 11 dashes on this Monday evening, reaching the top of the stretch. And the field for race number 1. In the stretch drive, gathering speed. Here they come. Field for race number 1 is at the start of the rough. Let's Roar gets out well. Brighton Better Be along to the inside. Dirty Beach, and then on the outside, Jam Sports Fan. Field hustles on around the turn. Brighton Better Be right now be the leader. Then it is Let's Roar to the outside. Georgia January to the inside is racing third. Jam Sports Fan continues to march on the outside. And then it is back to Dirty Beach, and she's in the moment. They race their way on towards the opening quarter, trailing 3, Bet You Love Me. In front of Share the Moment, and Priceless Shadow trails the field. But the early lead, Let's Roar at 20-1 on past the opening quarter on top, a length and a half, 29 seconds that opening quarter. Brighton Better Be is racing position second. JM Sports Fan is third, and then racing fourth is Georgia January, and Dirty Beach is fifth. She's in the moment, is back there sixth as the field comes off the turn and races on towards us. And now they head up towards the half, and it is still Let's Roar, the one to beat right now, leads at a length and a half. Brighton Better Be on the inside. Here comes JM Sports Fan back up and driving and moving quickly first over. Georgia January is racing fourth, and she's in the moment is on the outside fifth. 59-2 is the halftime. And then going off stride, Jam Sports Fan also being impacted, Georgia January. And now moving up rapidly to the outside. She's in a moment has come on to take over second and bearing down on Let's Roar. Halftime was 59-2. Brighton Better Be's on the inside third. And Bet You Love Me now is advanced all the way up to fourth as they race on down the backstretch. And then on the outside now, position fifth is Share the Moment. Then it is Dirty Beach who is sixth, and seventh Jam Sports Fan, and then Priceless Shadow. And now we're getting 3 wide action from Bet You Love Me. 3/4, 128-4. Let's Roar to the inside. Bet You Love Me to the outside. Center of the track is She's in the Moment, and then Share the Moment is sent out wide. They come on down the stretch drive. Bet You Love Me has got the lead. Bet You Love Me as they go on to the finish. Bet You Love Me is your winner, battling for second. Let's Roar in a photo with Brighton Better Be up the inside and racing fourth at the finish. She's in a moment, 158 flat. Bet You Love Me. On the board, we have a 2-4-1-5. Wheeling back in front of us, the first race winner, number 2, Bet You Love Me, 2-year-old better than Shepherd Bay Filly, owned by Rebecca Williamson and Connie McTaggart. Mark Herlihy is the trainer. Jay Harris, the winning driver. Bet You Love Me, first win, 158 flat. The first race payouts: number 2, Bet You Love Me, pays 360, 290, and 260. Number 4, Let's Roar, 1420 and 950. And 1, Bryden Better Be, 930. $2 exactor, 5040. Dollar try, 147.95. The dollar super, 805.35. Here is the first race order finish from the top. 319 246 875. That's 319 246 875. Field for race number 2 on parade. One Judge Ken, Cullen Kelly for Bob McIntosh, and CSX Stables and Dave Boyle. Number 2 is Morally Flexible. Brian McDonough for Richard Morrow and Michael Goldberg. And number 3, Caviar's Triumph. Scott Calder for Steve Calder and Steve Adams. Number 4 is Sortie, Mike Vanderkamp for Diana Secord. 5, Enchanted Mission, Bruce Richardson for Jacob Murray and Danny Murray. And number 7 is Graceful, Anthony Hahn for Martin Lachance and Lachance Racing and Dragon Racing. Well, fans, let's get a look at this field. The second race, preferred 3 trotters, and note that number 4, Sortie, is one that raced pretty well last race, especially considering made an early break and yet was able to come from well off the pace. Was on the outside, 10 lengths back at the half, and still outside at 3/4, and yet was beaten only a nose in 156 and 3. And Sortie had been racing at Mohawk and flashing some good speed. Really enjoyed that start at Georgian, with the exception of that break, and of course it needs to avoid making another break and having to qualify. But Sortie, off that really fine closing effort, Sortie and Mike Vanderkamp is right now 2-5 on the board. Number 2, Morally Flexible. Look at last race here. Post 8. 8th at the quarter, 7th at the half, still 10 lengths back at the half, and was able to come on and finish 3rd, beating a length and a quarter. Morally Flexible is one that definitely you could use as a possible winner, at least somewhere towards the top of the ticket. Morally Flexible, 4-1. Might be the main threat to the heavily backed number 4, Sortie. Number 3, Caviar's Triumph. 5 wins on the year. Beat this class. Georgian Downs 2 races ago. Has been kind of a little inconsistent of late, alternating a good race, bad race. And the last race, suffered interference, and not really his fault. Caviar's Triumph is one that could come bouncing back very sharply here. Won in this class only 2 races ago, and is one with, as mentioned, 5 wins on the year. You get a nice price of 15-1. Note that last race, that interference, Caviar's Triumph, but not the horse's fault, so Caviar's Triumph probably shouldn't be at 15-1. And one more is number 1, Judge Ken. Well, look at wired a class here from post 7 3 races ago in 58 and 2. Since then, tried Mohawk. Tough Trip came first up. Didn't fare well. And last race here in this class got parked early and then made a couple of breaks. Big 26 and 4 opening quarter, though. Judge Ken is one that I judge as one that probably needs another chance here, because those breaks last time out kind of did him in, and he was racing really well before that. Inside post could really help. Of course, is sent up by longtime proven trainer Bob McIntosh as well. Cullen Kelly driving Judge Ken, 7-2 on the board. Fans are all over number 4, Sortie, to the tune of 3-5, but I don't think it'll be a cakewalk. There's some nice horses in here that could give Sortie a very tough go of things. 3-5 is probably too low for Sortie in this spot. Field for race number 2, taking up positions. Judge Can and Morally Flexible on the inside. In the center, Caviar's Triumph and Sortie. And to the outside, it's Enchanted Mission and Graceful. It's a field of 6 for the second dash. Here they come. And the second race trotters are at the start of the rough. Caviar's Triumph will get out well. Judge Can along to the inside. Enchanted Mission is also driving early. Then Morally Flexible along to the inside. Then it is back to Sortie. And Graceful trails the field. Judge Can and Colin Kelly's got a lead of a length and a quarter. And on the inside, Caviar's Triumph now taking back Enchanted Missions, hoping to find a seat along to the inside. Enchanted Mission squeezes over to the pylons third and is in front of Morally Flexible. And then it is back to Sortie and Graceful. They're now all in a line as they race past the opening quarter in 29 and 2. Judge Ken's got a lead of a length and a half. Caviar's Triumph second. Enchanted Mission third. And Morally Flexible now comes to the outside, and Sortie follows to the outside as well. As they race their way off the turn, they come towards us. Then back trailing the field is Graceful. They straighten out off the turn, heading up to the half. Judge Can and Colin Kelly's got the lead. Caviar's Triumph and Scotty Coulter on the inside. Second, Morally Flexible gaining ground to the outside. It's only about a length and 3/4 off the lead. The half was 1 minute and 1/5. And now Sortie is moving up second over Enchanted Mission along to the inside. It's only 3.5 off the lead of Judge Can, who is strong on top. Trailing the field is Graceful. Judge Can right now in front by about 2. Caviar's Triumph is second. Morally Flexible outside third. And then set off cover. Getting out 3 wide comes Sortie now. And then racing fifth, Enchanted Mission. And Graceful trails the field. Judge Can as they race on by 3/4. Sortie is getting closer. Caviar's Triumph is racing third. Morally Flexible weakens now that Enchanted Mission. Graceful, the field turns for home off that 3/4 of 129 and 4, and they turn down the lane. Judge Can, Sortie on the outside, bearing down on Judge Can, but Judge Can on the inside is game. Judge Can, and on the outside, Sortie close. The verdict is in, though. Sortie came by Judge Can to win, and then Caviar's Triumph and Graceful 158 and 3. On the board, we have a 4-1-3-7. There's a look at the winner of race number 2, number 4, Sortie, a 6-year-old explosive Matter Brown gelding. Owned by Diana Secord, Mike Vanderkamp's the trainer and the winning driver. Second win this year, 13th lifetime, Sortie, victorious in 158 and 3. Second race payouts for Sortie, 242 20, 210. One Judge Can, 370, 243. Caviar Strive, 220. The $2 double is 580. The exactor of 4 and 1 on a $2 ticket, $720 try, $710 super, 3105. Here is the second race order of finish from the top. 26315 scratch 4. That's 26315 scratch 4. Field for the third on parade. One, Sunshine's Finest, Brian McDonough for Ron McDonald. And two, Devil's Peak, Anthony Hahn for Bruce Gwinnett and Carmelo Shime. Number 4 is Seymour Little, Nick Stewart for Clifford McGuire and Nancy McGuire. Number 5 is Bankroll, Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen. And 6, Matt's Tuition, Talibor for Marc-Andre Cormier and Bernard Haymond. And number 7 is Tails Away, Colin Keller for Kyle Bossons and Douglas Hastings and Brian Daly. And 8 is DG Shall We Dance, Austin Soray for Joe Pereira and Daniel Supernaut and Guy Fortin. Well, fans, let's take a look at this field for the third. And we'll start with number 7, Tails Away. Well, didn't tail away much last race. Had the lead at the top of the stretch and finished beaten just half a length. Pretty solid start. Parked early as well. Left from post 1. And now has to deal with post 7, though. But you do see some pretty good form the last 3 races out of the high percentage barn of Kyle Bossons and Colin Kelly driving. Tails Away, 7-time winner last year in just 23 starts. Tails Away, 5-1. Tough post assignment, but certainly the form is very fine. Number 8, DG Shall We Dance, will have to dance to the outside of Tails Away. Even tougher post yet. Was able to make the front from post 4 last race and finished right there second, beaten just a length. And also look at the start before that, 53 mile. At Mohawk was the start 2 races back, and before that had a very nice second at Georgian Downs in 54. So some pretty good overall form recently. DG Shall We Dance? Well, you get this one at 10-1. Might be able to dance and make it worth the price here in the third dash, despite that outside post position. Number 2, Devil's Peak, 5-1 on the board. And look, that missing chart line from post 7 in Hanover, 6th, beaten 9 3/4 in 2:01 and 2, with Patrick Shaw driving. Preston Shaw driving. My bad. Devil's Peak, Anthony Hahn driving here. And Devil's Peak is one that finally gets a good post. Has had a bunch of outside posts of late. Maybe moving down, can get rolling, shows some speed, and won here last year in 55-1 and has a career best 51-4. Devil's Peak might be coming back around and start a new upward peak. Devil's Peak 5-1. And one more that we could take a look at in this dash. And it is number 6, Matt's Tuition. Well, the recent form is not great. Matt's Tuition has been kind of sitting at the back of the class. Matt's Tuition does show plenty of speed, though. 52 racing at Mohawk, and might be able to fare a little bit better in this spot. Certainly shows some recent speed. This could be a good spot for Matt's Tuition to get back rolling and back to get a passing grade here in this third race. Matt's Tuition is 6-1 on the board. Tyler Moore driving. The third race, it's a field of 7. Scratched is number 3, Sports Nation. It is rolling for race number 3. Shaking up positions. Sunshine's Finest and Devil's Peak on the inside. In the center, Seymour Little, Bankroll, Matt's Tuition. To the outside, Tails Away. DG's Shall We Dance? It's a field of 7 for the third. Gathering speed, approaching the start. And they're at the start of the round. Seymour Little gets up well. Matt's Tuition. Devil's Peaking on the outside. DG Shall We Dance? And along to the inside, Sunshine's Finest. But the early lead goes to Seymour Little. Now Sunshine's Finest on the inside. Devil's Peak is on the outside. And is racing now second as Sunshine's Finest is third along to the inside. Then a gap of 2 or 3. Bankroll rolling fourth in front of Matt's Tuition. Then Tails Away, and DG's Shall We Dance is dancing alone and trailing the field. They race on to the opening quarter. And now coming on to get the lead is Devil's Peak in front of Seymour Little. Opening quarter 27-4. And Sunshine's Finest is on the inside third. Bankrolls racing fourth. The trailing 3, Matt's Tuition, Tails Away, and DG's Shall We Dance? They race their way off the turn, 27-4 with that opening quarter, and they head up to the half. Devil's Peak and Anthony Hahn's got the lead, and Seymour Little is seen in the pocket. Sunshine's Finest now is shining on the outside. First up is only a length and a half off the lead. Halftime 57-1, and then on the outside, Bankroll is spotted second over. Along to the inside as they roll their way on into the backstretch. DG Shall We Dance? And then it is back to Matt's Tuition, and Tails Away is on the outside, trailing the field. They hustle on down the backstretch, racing to 3/4. Devil's Peak has a lead of a length and a half. Seymour Little in the pocket. Sunshine's Finest is on the outside third. DG's Shall We Dance racing fourth, and then Bankroll, Matt's Tuition, and Tails Away is still trailing. 3/4, 1:26-2. Devil's Peak, Seymour Little, and DG's Shall We Dance took the short way round the turn. Sunshine's Finest, and then it is back to Tails Away, scooting through to the inside and to the outside. Matt's Tuition on down the stretch drive. Devil's Peak and Seymour Little. Devil's Peak has got this one. Seymour Little second, then DG Shall We Dance, and Tails Away finishing fourth, 155-3. Devil's Peak. On the board, we have a 2, 4, 8, 7. Wheeling back in front of us, the winner of race number 3. It is number 2, Devil's Peak, a 6-year-old Camlock Bay gelding, owned by Carmelo Shime, trained by Bruce Goy. Anthony Hahn, the winning driver. Third win this year, 13th lifetime. Devil's Peak, 155-3. The third race payouts. Number 2, Devil's Peak, 560 for 32.90. 4, Seymour Little, 11.90, 350. 8, DG Shall We Dance, 260. $2 exactor, $59.30. The pick 3 is 3 of 3, 12.60. The Dollar Try, 198.90. Dollar Super, 903.55. Here is the third race order finish from the top. 7-1 scratch, 25643. That's 7-1 scratch, 25643. Field for the fourth on parade one, Buckaroo. Brian McDonough for Jim Curran, Jack Ramage. Number 2, Brock's Fortune, Austin Sorry for Taylor Fritz. And number 3 is Outlaw Grabbing Gears, Paul Davies for Nicole Davies and Deborah Bonnell. Number 4 is Rock This Way. It is Colin Kelly for Benoit by Etta Shaw and Santovina and Nunziovina. 5 is Magical Albert, Jay Harris for Anthony Beaton and David Lumsden. And number 6 is Good and Sweet, Ryan Holiday for Steve Colvin. Number 7, J.I.M., Travis Cullen for Rachel Andrew. And number 9 is American Hustle, Nick Stewart for Brian Lawrence and William Brown and Wayne Salisbury. It is a field of 8 for the 4th race. Let's take a look at this field. We're going to start with number 3, Outlaw Grabbing Gears, who's, comes in off of a race in this class last time out at Georgian Downs and just missed the win by a nose. It was a good one that beat him as well. And Outlaw Grabbing Gears also shows winning at Mohawk in 52-1 back at the end of July. That was a season's best. Has 3 wins and 9 starts this year. Look at last year, won 9 of 18 starts. Outlaw Grabbing Gears is one that should grab your attention. 2-1. Right now, the second choice on the board. Number 4, Rock This Way. That last race wasn't all that good, 8th, but beaten 3 3/4. But before that, consistently racing 51 and change, and Rock This Way. Now coming this way, leaving Mohawk and trying things here in Elora. Rock This Way, set up by the high percentage, a long-time proven barn of Benoit by Erajov, should be able to rock in this 4th race and have a good chance to win. 7-2 on the board. Couple of others to get a look at in this dash. How about number 2, Brock's Fortune? Well, Brock's Fortune has raced in this class each of the last 3. Now, one of them was post 8, so you could maybe throw that one out. You look at the other couple, they were both 4th place finishes. This is one with a lot of back class and is one that does have more than $400,000 lifetime in earnings. This is just the 8th start of the year. That last race here was okay and finished the mile with a very good back half. Brock's Fortune, with a little more fortunate trip, might be one that at a price could give you a good little return, 20-1, or at least one that you could get onto the ticket and help your exotics pay, now 17-1. And one more to take a look at as we're getting down to about a minute to post time. There's 9, American Hustle. And American Hustle was a big-time earner last year. As a 5-year-old, earned $112,000. That is really outstanding. American Hustle did not have a lot of hustle in this class last race, but was an outside post to Georgian Downs and got parked early. Just a tough go of things. And yet the back half was solid, a 56-second back half. But when you leave on the outside, you get parked early, and then they didn't go that big to the half. They went a half of 57, but the race went in 52-3, so American Hustle was kind of done in by the pace scenario as well. You do see this one racing at Mohawk in 51-1. 2 races ago. Problem is the race went in 49-4. American Hustle definitely could like dropping to this level, or actually raced in this level last time out at Georgian Downs, but before that was racing much tougher. American Hustle, a 9-time winner last year, definitely a big threat to come back with a much better outing here, and is 7-2. Nick Stewart driving. It's a field of 8 for the 4th race. We're getting close to post time. The gate is rolling for race number 4, Buckaroo on the inside with Brock's Fortune and Outlaw Grabbing Gears. In the center, Rock This Way and Magical Albert. To the outside, Good and Sweet and J.I.M. And the second tier, American Hustle. It is a field of 8 for the 4th race. field for the fourth race, turning into the stretch drive. Here they come. And the field for the fourth race is at the start of the rough. Outlaw grabbing gears, Magical Albert and Brock's Fortune on the inside. Then Buckaroo and Rock This Way. American Hustle from the second tier. Now Rock This Way is racing third from last. Then Good and Sweet. JIM is trailing the field. Outlaw grabbing gears was able to grab the early lead. Brock's Fortune filling the pocket. Magical Albert is on the inside third and is about 4 1/4 from the front. In front of Buckaroo. Then it is American Hustle. And then further back as they race around the turn to Rock This Way. And then Good and Sweet. And JIM trails the field. 28 seconds, the opening quarter. Outlaw grabbing gears is on top. Leads a length and a half. Brock's Fortune second. Magical Albert third. And Buckaroo is fourth. And then American Hustle has now hustled to the outside. And the trailing three are still Rock This Way. Good and Sweet and JIM. 28 seconds. The opening quarter. They head up to the half. Outlaw grabbing gears and Paul Davies leading on the half. Advantage is a length and a half, and halftime was recorded in 57 seconds. On the outside, Magical Albert's getting a little bit closer now. Brock's Fortune still there in the pocket. Into the backstretch they go, and American Hustle is well situated, second over fourth. Buckaroo is fifth to the inside. Rock This Way sixth, and then it is Good and Sweet. JIM 3 wide from the backfield, but now is coming on. They hustle on towards 3/4. Outlaw grabbing gears, and JIM is making up a ton of ground, sweeping out there 4 wide. On the inside, Brock's Fortune is still racing second, but strong on top. Outlaw grabbing gears, 3/4, 125 and 4. And Outlaw grabbing gears has grabbed another gear, and now leads by about 3.5 lengths. Racing second, Brock's Fortune. Then way out wide, JIM and American Hustle. On down the stretch drive, and Outlaw grabbing gears is home and cooled out. Brock's Fortune will finish second. JIM picks up third, and fourth was American Hustle. 153 and 3 for Outlaw grabbing gears. On the board, we have a 3-2-7-9. Wheeling back in front of us, the winner of race number 4. It's number 3, Outlaw Grabbing Gears, a 4-year-old smart shark bay gelding, owned by Paul and Nicole Davies and Deborah Pinnell. Paul Davies, the trainer and the winning driver, 4th win this year. 20th lifetime for Outlaw Grabbing Gears. 153 and 3. The fourth race payouts: 3 Outlaw Grabbing Gears for 73.50 to 80. 2 Brock's Fortune 17.30, 610, 7 JIM 470. $2 Exactor 48.40, dollar Try 128.20, dollar Super 676.75. Here is the fourth race silver finish from the top. 521 768 3 scratch 4. That's 521 768 3 scratch 4. Field for race number 5 is on parade. One flash to the finish. Scott Coulter for Bill Cass and John Craig. Number 2 is Editorial. Brett McDonough for Richard Morrow and Hut Racing. Number 3, Smiling Billy the Kid, Austin Sorry for Kyle Bossens and William Brown. Number 4, Dietrich Seelster. Dr. Ian Moore drives and trains for Sally McDonald and Paul McDonald. And number 5, Bet on Jack Anthony Hahn for Rod Boyd and Hut Racing. And number 6, State Senator Paul McKenzie for Scott McEnany and Bradley Grant. Number 7, You're the One. Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen and Ron Cullen. And number 8 is 218, Travis Henry for Rod Boyd and Patty Jones. Well, fans, let's get a look at this field for the 5th race. A field of 2-year-old colts and geldings, maidens. And we'll start with number 4, Dietrich Seelster. Number 4, Dietrich Seelster. Not a great outing last race at Sarnia. But Dietrich Seelster did flash 54-2 speed at Mohawk the start before that. It also does show a 53-4 mile as well. Raced in the Gold July the 3rd, so that tells you what Dr. Ian Moore thinks of this state treasure, a 2-year-old colt. Dietrich Seelster is on the board at 6-1. Number 3, Smiling Billy the Kid, has had 1 start, and it was a solid third here from off the pace, 58-4 mile. Pretty solid back half. Picked it up nicely with consecutive 28-4 third and fourth quarters. Smiling Billy the Kid and Austin Sorry, 5-2 on the board, the second choice. Number 1, Flash to the Finish, is one that's had 4 qualifiers to get ready for this start and did have some nice flash in the final quarter last race. 27-4 final quarter from 3 quarters to the finish. Flash to the Finish had plenty of flash and hopes to use it here on the inside. 4 qualifiers to get ready. Scotty Coulter in Flash to the Finish, 9-1. And number 2, Editorial, has had just 1 start, a couple of qualifiers, and well, if you look at the back half, that wasn't too bad, 57. The overall mile, though, 6th beaten more than 10 lengths, 57-1, but did have a 57-second back half and did suffer early interference as well. Now Editorial from post 2 just might be a lot better. Brett McDonald, Richard Morrow at 17-1. The starting gate is rolling for race number 5. Flash to the finish. Editorial and Smiling Billy the Kid on the inside. In the center, Dietrich Seelster and Bet on Jack. And to the outside, State Senator, You're the One, and Toonie Teen. It is a field of 8 for race number 5. It is post time. And the field for the 5th race, gathering speed, approaching the start. And they're at the start of the race. Smiling Billy the Kid and Dietrich Seelster, State Senator to the outside, then Editorial and Flash to the finish. They work on around that first turn, and they're still 3 abreast. But on the outside, driving on, looking to clear to the front is Dietrich Seelster. Smiling Billy the Kid is second. Editorial is third. Then fourth is State Senator. Flash to the finish is racing fifth. And then it is back further to Toonie Teen, and racing position second from last is Bet on Jack, and You're the One is the trailing one. It is Dietrich Seelster who's got a lead right now of about 5 lengths. Past the opening quarter they go. Racing second is Smiling Billy the Kid, and Editorial is third. State Senator is racing fourth. The opening quarter was 28-4. As the field comes off the turn, Dietrich Seelster and Dr. Ian Moore with the lead as they roll on towards us. Then it's a gap of a couple of lengths, and then Smiling Billy the Kid, and then it is back to Editorial, who's racing third, and State Senator is fourth, and then Flash to the finish is fifth. 58-3 is the halftime. They work their way on into the backstretch, and on the inside, as they work their way down the backstretch, Toonie Teen. On the outside, You're the One, as they race the backstretch, and then way back is Bet on Jack on the hustle towards 3/4 off that 58-3 halftime. Dietrich Seelster, State Senator, is getting a little closer to the outside, and on the inside, Smiling Billy the Kid now is driven on through and right up tight in the pocket on the back of Dietrich Seelster, who's getting a bit of urging. They went by 3/4, 128-4, and Dietrich Seelster leads at a length of 3/4. Smiling Billy the Kid is second. Flash to the finish is out there now. 3 wide is popping into the pocket. Comes Smiling Billy the Kid. Up 3/4, 128-4. They turn for home. Dietrich Seelster, Smiling Billy the Kid, and Flash to the finish, and scooting up the inside is Editorial. Driving on the outside, Smiling Billy the Kid's got the win. Editorial second, then Dietrich Seelster and Flash to the finish. 158-1. On the board, we have a 3-2-4-1 unofficial top 4. Smiling back in front of us, the winner of race 5, 3 Smiling Billy the Kid. 2-year-old better than Cheddar Bay Colt, owned by William Brown. Trained by Kyle Bossons, Austin Sorey, the winning driver. Smiling Billy the Kid's first win, 158-1. The fifth race payouts: 3 Smiling Billy the Kid, 590. 320, 240, 2 Editorial, 640 and 430, and 4 Dietrich Seelster, 330. The Exactor, 3480. Dollar Try, 5980. Dollar Super, 228.60. The fifth race silver finish from the top: 421 38657. That's 421 38657. Field for race number 6 on parade. Scratches of 1 and 2. Number 3, Century Gigolo. Scott Culver, Ken Oliver, and ICL Racing of Pefferlaw. Number 4 is Spectrum Sealster. Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen and Ron Cullen and Keith Hanna. Number 5, Dublin Sealster. Cullen Keller for Kyle Bostonson, Paul Wilkin, and Ken Bennett. And number 6 is Edom Sports Baby. Austin Sorry for Robert Darren, Jeffrey Williamson. Number 7 is Athon. Brent McDonough for Richard Morrow and Claude Gerard. And 8 is Bayonet. It's J.R. Plot for Tyler Nostad and Blue Shoe Investments. Well, fans, let's get a look at this field. We'll start with number 3, Century Gigolo. Well, racing in fine form coming in. Only one poor race in the last bunch of races, and that was a post position 7 at Georgian Downs. Now, last race here went to the front from post 2 and was able to wire this field pretty comfortably on cruise control in the stretch. And also, look at the year. 12 out of 17 in the top 2. Century Gigolo also gets to lead from the inside in this one. Century Gigolo, 3-1 on the board. Not the favorite as I thought it might be. Number 7, Athon, is currently on the board at 8-1. Now, the post position may or may not suit, but with a couple of scratches, now it's post 5 in a compact field. And you do see this one winning 3 races in a row back in July. Athon's last race was a solid third. Now went to the front and tailed off a little bit in the late going, but still overall, Athon, Brett McDonald, Richard Morrow should be considered a main factor in this dash and is 5-1. Number 4, Spectrum Sealster, dropped down in class last race and had post 7. Didn't fare all that well. Now, the opening quarter, 31-1. After that, the next 3 quarters were very fine. Spectrum Sealster is one that racing again down in class might be able to get back going. Is 7 out of 12 in the top 3 this year. Took all of 2019 off. Spectrum Sealster racing out of the strong part of Jody Cullen. Travis Cullen is the favorite here, 7-5 on the board. And number 8, Bayonet is coming in off of a win, but now has to work on the outside. But outside is only post 6 now. And also note, this one has made the top 3 in 8 out of 13 on the year, so may well overcome Tyler Nostad's record, training record, a 6.06 training average, 22 starters and 10 wins. Pretty darn fine. J.R. Plot and Bayonet, 7-2. The 6th race, a field of 6, going to post shortly, featuring the Super High 5. Center, Dublin Sealster and Edom Sports Baby. And to the outside, Athon and Bayonet. Field 4, race number 6 is at the start of the rough and on the inside. Century Gigolo. Bayonet leaves well. Spectrum Sealster between those two. Then it is back to Dublin Sealster. Edam Sports Baby. Athon trails the field. Field 4, race number 6 is at the start of the rough and on the inside. Century Gigolo. Bayonet leaves well. Spectrum Sealster between those two. Then it is back to Dublin Sealster. Edam Sports Baby. Athon trails the field. Century Gigolo's got the lead as they race on down the backstretch. Spectrum Sealster is in the pocket. Bayonet is third and is currently 3 1/4 lengths from the front, working in front of Dublin Sealster. Then it is Edam Sports Baby and Athon. They race on to the opening quarters. Century Gigolo now popping out. There goes Dublin Sealster. Dublin Sealster working up on the outside. Now it's come on to have a share of second, and now second alone in pursuit of Century Gigolo, and then goes off stride, quickly recovers, and is now losing some ground, and they work on around the turn. 28 1's the opening quarter. Century Gigolo. And on the outside, here comes Bayonet. Spectrum Sealster on the inside is third. Edam Sports Baby is racing fourth, and then Athon. And then well back Dublin Sealster, 57 seconds flat the halftime. And they work their way into the backstretch. And it is Century Gigolo with the lead. Bayonet challenging to the outside. Spectrum Sealster is on the inside and is only a length and 3/4 from the front. Then racing position fourth is Athon. Edam Sports Baby is fifth on the pylons. They hustle to 3/4. Century Gigolo still has the lead. Century Gigolo on top. Lead of a length and 1/4 right now. 3/4, 1:25 3. And they race on that final turn. It's still Century Gigolo trying to hold on. And on the outside, it is Bayonet. And on the inside, Spectrum Sealster as the field is about turned for home. And then it's back to Athon and Edam Sports Baby on down the stretch right for Century Gigolo. Century Gigolo and scooting up the inside quickly. Now here comes Spectrum Sealster bolting up the inside to win. Century Gigolo second, Athon third, and Bayonet was fourth, 1:55 3. On the board, we have a 4-3-7-8-6. Wheeling back in front of us, the winner of race number 6, number 4, Spectrum Sealster. 4-year-old Mach 3 Bay Gelding, owned by Ron Cullen and Travis Cullen and Keith Hanna. Jody Collins, the trainer. Travis Cullen, the winning driver. It's the second win this year, third lifetime. Spectrum Sealster, victorious in 1:55 3. The sixth race payouts, number 4, Spectrum Sealter, 410, 260, and 210. 3 Century Gigolo, 250, 210, 7/8 on 310. Dollar High 5, 123.85. The $2 exactor is $7.90. Dollar try, 18.05. Dollar win for 120.10. Fans noted race 7 over 5, JP Oscar has a claim entered. Race 7-5, JP Oscar claim entered. The sixth race over a finish from the top is a double scratch 2-1, 6-5-3-4. That's double scratch 2-1, 6-5-3-4. Field for the seventh on parade one. Simon Sad, Paul McKenzie for Gerard Demers and Tag Incorporated. Number 2 is Working Class Hero, Paul Davies for Jennifer Dodsworth. Number 3 is Shadow of Lindy, Anthony Hahn for Mel Giles. And number 4, 88 Fingers, Louis Bruce Richardson for John Holding. Number 5, J.P. Oscar, Brett McDonald for Richard Morrow and Don Beanland. Claim is in. Number 6 is B.S. Terrific, Colin Kelly for Kyle Bossens and Ron Nobes and Phil McGuire. Number 7, Brickman, Nick Boyd for Mark Winnicott and Jessica Culture. Number 8 is Barossa Blue Jeans, J.R. Plant driving for Bruce Goit. And 9, Somehow, Someday, Travis Henry for Frederick Borgo and Keith Castle. Well, fans, let's get a look at this field, and we will start with number 5, J.P. Oscar, 6-5. The Claim is in. Comes in excellent form, 3 consecutive top threes, and a good mile last race, 52-4, racing at Mohawk, finishing second, and it'll be the lone start for Richard Morrow as this one's being claimed back. This one's also been in other good hands, Corey Johnson and Yves Tessier. J.P. Oscar is one that's got 19 wins, and J.P. Oscar definitely should have a decent chance in this spot and is on the board right now at even money. Number 6, B.S. Terrific, has been a little bit inconsistent of late, but there's been some good starts in that last bunch during the last 5. A win and a couple of seconds. Last race was a 5th, but beaten only 2.5 at Georgian Downs and did a lot of the early work and still came home in 28-3. So dropped from a length back at the top of the stretch to 2.5 back. Not bad. Look at the year, though. 12 out of 19 in the top 2. That's terrific. Big Ass Terrific and Colin Kelly, 5-2. Number 9, Somehow, Someday. Well, had post 7 last race and somehow was able to grab the early lead past the opening quarter and then drive on to win by 2 1/4 lengths in 156-3. Excellent form coming in. 8 out of 12 in the top 2. Tough to leave off the exactor ticket, the trailer post, but nonetheless did overcome post 7 last race. 7-1, Travis Henry for the high percentage barn of Freddie B. And one more to take a look at in this field is number 3, Shadow of Lindy. Shadow of Lindy beaten just ahead last time out. Beaten by the veteran Forgo the Cigar. Shadow of Lindy, good mile of 55-1. And overall shows some decent form coming into this one. Has gate speed and a better post position. Shadow of Lindy is one that at 24-1 just might be a nice little value play. Shadow of Lindy and Anthony Hahn, set up by Mel Giles. The gate is rolling for race number 7. Simon Said, Working Class Hero, Shadow of Lindy on the inside. In the center, 88 Fingers Louie and JP Oscar to the outside. BS Terrific, Brickman and Barossa Blue Jeans. And I guess those flashing lights must mean recall. Fans note the number 2 Working Class Hero. Well, the equipment wasn't working right. Broken equipment. The gate is rolling once again for the 7th race. The 7th race on a Monday night at Grand River Raceway. Take 2. Field 4, race number 7, is into the stretch drive. Here they come. And they're at the start of the rough. Simon Said and 88 Fingers Louie. B as Terrific and JP Oscar. And then Barossa Blue Jeans. And down to the inside is Somehow Someday. Then it is Working Class Hero. Shadow of Lindy and Brickman trails the field. Simon Said and Paul McKenzie has got the lead right now as they race on to the opening quarter. B.S. Terrific is second, 88 Fingers Louie third, and J.P. Oscar is fourth in line. Then it is Somehow Someday as they roll on to the opening quarter. Then it is back further to Barossa Blue Jeans and Working Class Hero. Shadow of Lindy and Brickman is trailing the field. They race their way on around the turn off that 27-second opening quarter. And it is Simon Said and Paul McKenzie with the front. Simon Said in front of B.S. Terrific by a length and a half. And then it is 88 Fingers Louie to the inside. But here comes J.P. Oscar working first over. Somehow Someday, second over fifth. Sixth is Barossa Blue Jeans, 56 and 3 the halftime. Then it is Working Class Hero and Shadow of Lindy. And then motoring along in the trailing position is Brickman as they race their way on into the backstretch. Simon Said with the front still. Simon Said. And now off stride goes Somehow Someday. JP Oscar is moving up and threatening Simon Sam. BS Terrifics on the inside. And now on the outside, 88 Fingers Louie is racing on the outside third and about to take over second. 3/4, 125 and 2. And with the lead, JP Oscar. JP Oscar, 88 Fingers Louie. And then racing third is BS Terrific. And Simon said they come on down the stretch drive. JP Oscar trying to close this one out. JP Oscar. And on the outside, 88 Fingers Louie. JP Oscar is a wiener. Finishing second was 88 Fingers Louie. And then it was BS Terrific and Shadow of Lindy. 154 and 1. JP Oscar. Wheeling back in front of us, the winner of race number 7. It's number 5, JP Oscar, 6-year-old Stand Forever Bay Gelding. Owned by Richard Moore and Don Beeland. Richard Moore, the trainer. Brett McDonald, the winning driver. 4th win this year. 20th lifetime. JP Oscar. The 7th race payouts, number 5, JP Oscar, 543.60, 344, 88 Fingers Louie, 1530 and 720 and 6. BS Terrific, 370. $2 exactor, $86.90 try, $283.45 super, $1,421.15. Seventh race or finish from the top is at 864 213 957. That's 864 213 957. And the claim of 5 JP Oscar, the new trainer, Tom Riley. The field for race number 8 is entering the track for the post parade. 1, Dan Darmel, Scott Quilliver, David O'Brien, and Kevin Gillis. And number 2, Senior Beach Babe, Brian Holiday for Jim Ellis and Stephen Binkley. And number 3 is Exeline by Emma, Chair Plot for Stefan LaRock and Debbie Element. And number 4 is Toriel Chalamore for James Barton. And 5 is Dex the Land, Jason Ryan for Sheldon Rose. Number 6, Dream All Night, Brett McDonough for Shane Barrington and Bruno DePoche and John Barrington. And number 7 is Bye Bye Daddy, Travis Henry for Tyler Nostat and Blue Shoe Investments. Number 8 is Tobin's Terror, Austin Surrey for Corey Johnson and Joe Steiner. And 9 is Hamax Sabrina, Travis Scullin for Pam Forkey and Don Schulteis. Well, fans, let's get a look at this field. We'll start with number 6, Dream All Night. And, well, did have 3 wins in 4 starts before last race, just scoring a 5th. But Dream All Night is back in the same class and also was a proven winner last year. 8 wins, hit the board often. Dream All Night racing for Shane Barrington, who's got a nice little 421 training average going. And Dream All Night is one that I think will have a pretty decent chance to bounce back. Does show 2 races ago, racing from a little bit off the pace and circling 3 wide to win. Dream All Night in Brett McDonald is 8-5 as the favorite. Fans are banking on a bounce back performance. Number 8, Tobin's Terror. Well, the post isn't a great help, but did come first up last race and still managed to win. And is one also that shows racing well from off the pace 3 races ago to finish second. Tobin's Terror overall on the year, 10 out of 20 in the top 3. Tough post assignment, but you do get 7-1 for a horse that shows enough. This mare does show enough in the last number of starts to be considered a win threat. Number 7, Bye Bye Daddy, also one that's saddled with an outside post. She was able to lead a long, long way last race before finishing second. Look at 7 wins in 21 starts this year, scored 9 wins last year. Bye Bye Daddy definitely shows some good overall form. One thing to note, though, the last time we saw this one race on an outside 2 post position, had post 8 here, had suffered early interference. And the other outside post position 6 at Leamington didn't go well. But Bye Bye Daddy is hard to overlook here. And Tyler Nostad's got 22 starters this year and 10 winners. In fact, 16 out of 22 in the top 2. Giddy up, Tyler. Bye Bye Daddy and Travis Henry, 14-1. And one more to take a look at is number 2, Senior Beach Babe and Happy Holiday. Winner at Clinton at 56-4 2 races ago. Tried it here last race, but post position 8 didn't work well. But now gets a favorable post and could bounce right back to that good start at Clinton. 56-4 is a good mile up there. This mare did win 7 times last year and has 4 wins and 11 starts this year. Senior Beach Babe at 5-2. Definitely a big bounce back threat from post position 2. The 8th race of Field of 9 going to post shortly. Fans note in race number 11, scratched is number 8, Some Beach by the Sea. Race 11, scratch 8, Some Beach by the Sea. Gate is rolling for race number 8. Dandarmel, Senior Beach Babe, and Exceline Biama to the inside. At the center, Toriel decks the land into the outside. Dream All Night, Bye Bye Daddy, and Tobin's Terror. And the second tier, Halmax Sabrina. The field for race number 8 is at the start of the rough, and Toriel will lead with Dandarmel down to the inside and Bye Bye Daddy on the outside. Then it is Senior Beach Babe and Exceline Biama, but the early lead goes to Dandarmel. And now Bye Bye Daddy continues to press on from post 7 and is going to clear to the front. Dandarmel is racing position second. Then third in line is Toriel. Exceline Biama is fourth, and Senior Beach Babe is fifth. And then it is back to Tobin's Terror and Halmax Sabrina. Then it is back further to Dream All Night, and trailing is Dex the Land. Bye Bye Daddy at 15 to 1's got the lead, and Dandarmel at 19 to 1 is in the pocket. Toriel 30 to 1 is racing third. They work around the turn. Exceline Biama is positioned fourth as they race their way off the turn, and they come on towards us. And then hopping to the outside now goes Senior Beach Babe and Happy Holiday as they race off the turn, and will have cover as taking out now as Exceline Biama is coming first up fourth. Racing fifth is Senior Beach Babe. Halftime was 58 seconds, and they race their way on towards the 5/8. On the inside, racing position sixth as they're about to enter the backstretch is Halmax Sabrina. Then seventh is Tobin's Terror. Then it is back to Dex the Land, and Dream All Night is trailing the field. Bye Bye Daddy still has the lead. Rolling second is Dandarmel, and third is Toriel. Toriel now swings to the outside and is moving in as only 2.5 or 3 off the lead. Halmax Sabrina down to the inside. He's racing fourth, and Senior Beach Babe is fifth. Then backing away Exceline Biama. And sixth is on the inside Dex the Land. And seventh, Tobin's Terror. 3/4, 127 and 1. And Bye Bye Daddy still with the lead. Bye Bye Daddy on the outside. Toriel. Bye Bye Daddy. Toriel. Dandarmel up the inside. 3 across the track as they come to the finish. Bye Bye Daddy. Bye Bye Daddy may well have held on. Toriel is to the outside. Then Dandarmel and Halmax Sabrina 157 and 1. Fans note the inquiry sign will go up pertaining to a possible pylon violation by number 4 Toriel. Please hold on mutual tickets. Unofficial winner of race number 8 is number 7, Bye Bye Daddy. 7419, the top 4. Note the inquiry pertains to 4 Toriel and a possible pylon violation. Wheeling back in front of us is the winner of race number 8. It's number 7, Bye Bye Daddy. 8-year-old I Scoot Hanover Bay mare. Owned by Blue Shoe Investments, trained by Tyler Nostat, Travis Henry, the winning driver. Bye Bye Daddy's 8th win this year, 30th lifetime. Mile was 157 and 1. Fans note the judge's ruling that there were no violations by number 4, Toriel. The inquiry signed down. The 8th race of Hayout 7, Bye Bye Daddy, 3370, 1730, and 1240. For Toriel, 3080 and 1650 and 1. Dan Darmal, 1050. $2 exactor, 324.60. Well, we had a dollar try of 1740.45. Note the 20-cent superfecta pays 741 all. That's 741 all, a 20-cent ticket, 1,029.35. Ka-ching. Here is the eighth race order of finish from the top. 369 258 174. That's 369 258 174. Field for the ninth race on parade. One is Giddy Up Max, Brett McDonald for Richard Morrow and David Shanley-Shea. Number 2 is Bet the Limit, Colin Kelly for Kyle Bossens and Ron Nobes and Sean Brisebois. Number 3 is The Rubber Ducky, Austin Sorey for Jeffrey Williamson. Number 4, Storm Chaser, J.R. Plot for Jim Wellwood and Jeffrey Wellwood. And number 5, Disney Man, Scott Calder for Anthony Beaton and Wayne McCrane, Bloomingwood Farms. Number 6, Greystone, Whiskey O, Nick Stewart for Neil Desporo. Number 7, Modern Writer, Jason Ryan for Harold Wilson and Wendy Marshall. And number 8 is Dover Sealster, Nick Boyd for James Dean and Brighton Farms and Eric Schwint and Tyler Durst. There's a look at the win photo from race number 8. Well, let's get a look at this field. And first up, we'll start with number 1, Giddy Up Maxwell is on the board at 1-5. Now, doesn't have a win this year, but he is sent up at Richard Morrow, drops in class, and did race to a competitive third at Georgian Downs last race in 54-2, so compares very well to this field. But note, had post 1 and got away 7th, so does need to flash a little more gate speed. Giddy Up Max now 2-5 for Brent McDonald driving. Number 2, Bet the Limit. Well, comes in with 3 consecutive top 3 finishes in this class and 56-3 mile here. Last time out, in fact, the last 3 were all here. Bet the Limit seems to like it here. Does have gate speed. Bet the Limit from post 2. A main threat for the high percentage barn of Kyle Bossens, 9-2 on the board. Number 5, Disney Man, well, is one that was right in behind Bet the Limit last race, finishing 3rd. Disney Man and Scotty Coulter, a little tougher post position, but that last race was good. Disney Man and Scotty Coulter for Anthony Beaton is 6-1. And one more that we should hustle up a look at here. In race number 9, as we're just a little bit less than 2 minutes to post time, is number 7, Modern Writer. Modern Writer doesn't have a win yet in 8 starts this year. Saddled with post 8 last race and was almost 16 lengths back at the quarter, yet finished beaten 4 3/4. Did a race a very strong back half of 56-3. Modern Writer is one that you might be able to write into the top 3 despite the post position. 12-1 on the board. The field for the ninth race. Checking up positions, giddy up max, bet the limit. The Rubber Ducky on the inside of the center, Storm Chaser and Disneyman. On the outside, Greystone Whiskey O, Modern Rider, Dover Sealster. Field for the ninth race is at the start of the rough, and Storm Chaser gets out with Bet the Limit on the outside. Dover Sealster is leaving well. The Rubber Ducky then down to the inside. Giddy Up Max, and now Giddy Up Max takes over fourth as the Rubber Ducky is the fifth one. They race on down the backstretch, and Bet the Limit went off stride. Now racing position fifth is Disneyman in front of Greystone Whiskey O and Modern Rider, and then it is Bet the Limit. They race on to the opening quarter. Storm Chaser at 21-1 has got the lead, and in chase is Dover Sealster at 50-1. Giddy Up Max is on the inside third as the field works on around the turn, and the opening quarter was 29 seconds, and racing position fourth is the Rubber Ducky as the field comes off the turn. Disneyman now is going to move to the outside, and then it is back to Greystone Whiskey O. Modern Rider to the outside as the field heads up towards the half, and past the half they go. Storm Chaser rolls on past the half with the lead. On the outside, in pursuit is Giddy Up Max. Halftime was 1 minute flat. Inside third, Dover Sealster still there in the hunt. Disneyman is racing second over fourth, and fifth down to the inside is the Rubber Ducky. Modern Riders on the outside as the field hustles on towards three quarters. Off that 1 minute half, it is still Storm Chaser. Giddy Up Max is chasing on the outside and is about a length back. Inside, Dover Sealster has a share of third with Disneyman to the outside. Modern Rider is fifth, and then the Rubber Ducky is the sixth one. They race towards the top of the stretch off three quarters and 1, 28-3. 28-3, third panel. And Storm Chaser still giving chases. Giddy Up Max into the outside. Disneyman as they come on to the finish. Storm Chaser flying. Giddy Up Max. Giddy Up Max and Storm Chaser close between those two. Disneyman third. Modern Rider fourth. We'll give you the top of the mile in a moment. Win photo in race number 9. Top of the mile, 157-2. In the win photo, it goes to 1. Giddy Up Max. Just getting there. 1-4-5-7, the top 4. Wheeling back in front of us, the winner of race number 9. It's 1. Giddy Up Max, a 3-year-old Better's Delight Big Gelding. Owned by David Shane Lee Shea, Richard Morrow, the trainer. Brett McDonald with the driving double. First win this year for Giddy Up Max, second lifetime. Giddy Up Max in 157-2. The ninth race payouts: 1 getting up max to 70, 260, 210. 4 Storm Chaser at $10, 570. And 5 Disneyman, 250. $2 exactor at 21.40. Dollar try, 48.65. Dollar super, 165.70. Ninth race silver finish from the top is a 18623,745. That's 18623,745. Field for race number 10 is on parade 1, Jack of Clubs. Tyler Moore for Gary McDonald. Number 2 is Champagne Phil, Scott Colbert, Ken Oliver, and ICR Racing of Pefferlaw. Number 3 is Highland Tartan, Colin Kelly for Jeff Gillis. And number 4, Pro Beach, Brett McDonald for Richard Morrow, 7, Chinoan Car Racing and Gaston Bibo. Number 5 is Brody's Scrapper, Travis Cullen for Rachel Andrew. And number 6, Tyga Hanover, Jason Ryan for Benoit by Etta Jean, Tom Rankin, and Elizabeth Rankin, and Glenn Rankin. Well, fans, let's take a look at this field for race number 10. We'll start with number 5, Brody's Scrapper. Well, comes in with 3 wins and a second in the past 4 starts. Has been scrapping pretty darn well. 32 wins lifetime. Travis Cullen, Rachel Andrew, a very strong combination. And Brody's Scrapper moved up to this class last race and proved that he fits here. Certainly a nice mile. A win here in 53-1. Also was a winner here in the preferred 3 class, which actually went quicker 2 races ago, 52-2. Brody Scrapper has proven to have a lot of giddy up of late, 4-1. Number 3, Highland Tartans, racing well in this class each of the last couple, right there in the hunt, third in both of them. 11-time winner last year. In fact, look at last year as an 8-year-old earned almost $200,000. Highland Tartan, 76,000 this year in 20 starts. He's not getting older, he's getting better. Highland Tartan and Colin Kelly for Jeff Gillis, 9-2, getting a lot of love. And number 4, Pro Beach, raced in this class last race and was second, beaten just a neck by Brody Scrapper. Would love a little payback here. And Pro Beach sent out by Richard Morrow. Brett McDonald driving. Brett looking for his 3rd win on the evening. This one raced very well from off the pace last race, but also does show front end speed. Wiring a field at Georgian Downs in 52-1, just 3 races back. And you do also see this one taking a mark last year, 50-2 at Mohawk. Pro Beach, definitely one of the top ones in here, and is currently 6-1. Very interesting field, this field. And look at the fans like number 6, Tyga Hanover, the best, 4-5 on the board. Now, did not fare well at Mohawk at all last race, but look at the race went in 49-2, so he paced his mile in 50-4. And tough to race in 50-4 and be more than 7 lengths off the win. But Tyga Hanover now trying things here. Was really good in that preferred 2 class at Georgian Downs. Had post 8, parked early, and still managed to be second, beaten just a length. Tyga Hanover certainly can be a tiger in here. 4-5, the favorite. Gate is rolling for race number 10. Jack of Clubs and Champagne Phil on the inside. In the center, Highland Tartan and Pro Beach. Into the outside, Brody Scrapper and Tyga Hanover. Field of 6, 10th dash. Here they come. And the field for race number 10 is at the start of the rough. Highland Tartan leaves well. Champagne Phil, Jack of Clubs on the inside, and Tyga Hanover is racing 4 wide into the first turn. Then it is Pro Beach on the inside, racing 5th, and Brody Scrapper is trailing the field. On they race into the backstretch, and Highland Tartan now has the lead. Jack of Clubs is sitting in the deuce and racing 3rd is Champagne Phil. Tyga Hanover's on the pylons, racing 4th now in front of Pro Beach, and then Brody Scrapper is trailing the field. They race the way on past that opening quarter in a solid 27 seconds. Highland Tartan and Colin Kelly's got the lead. Jack of Clubs is in the pocket. Champagne Phil's on the inside 3rd, and Tyga Hanover is 4th and is angled towards the outside now as they race off the turn and is going to come first over. Being followed to the outside by Pro Beach, and then it's Brody Scrapper who's last. This field of 6 rolls past the half. Halftime recorded in 56 seconds. Highland Tartan has the lead as they race their way on into the backstretch, and Tyga Hanover making steady progress on the outside. Jack of Clubs is on the inside 3rd, and then racing for his Pro Beach, and then Champagne Phil and Brody Scrapper 3 to the inside, 3 to the outside. Tyga Hanover's getting closer with every step. Right alongside Highland Tartan now as they race on by 3/4. Highland Tartan trying to fight and fend off Tyga Hanover, and racing just a length and a half back on the outside. Pro Beach down to the inside. Jack of Clubs. Pro Beach now is sent out 3 wide, 3/4 in 125, and it is Highland Tartan. Pro Beach is coming gamely. Tyga Hanover, Jack of Clubs looking for the passing lane. On down the stretch drive they come, and well wide, charging hardest of all is Pro Beach. Center of the track is Highland Tartan. Pro Beach wins it. Highland Tartan was second. Then Jack of Clubs to the inside. 154-1. Wheeling back in front of us, the winner of race number 10. It is number 4, Pro Beach. Pro Beach is a 5-year-old Some Beach Somewhere bay gelding, owned by Sylvain Deschenaux, Gar Racing and Gaston Pipot. Richard Morrow, the trainer, hat trick for Richard Morrow, and the driving hat trick for Brett McDonald. Brett McDonald and Richard Morrow teaming up for 3 on the evening. 4th win for Pro Beach this year, 9th lifetime, victorious in 154-1. The 10th race payouts for Pro Beach, 860 for $32.93. Highland Tartan, 463.21. Jack of clubs, 490. $2 exactor, 38.40. $40 try, 86.50. $5 super, 302.75. The 10th race over finish from the top is a 362.154. That's 362.154. Field 4, race number 11. On parade 1, Ma Rebel, Travis Henry for Terry Gallant. Number 2, Salas Sealster, Travis Cullen for Brian Dunbar, 8th Line Investments. Number 3, Hypnotic Key, Paul McKenzie for David Daniel. And for Silver Hill Misty, Jason Ryan for David Daniel and Leonard Campbell. Number 5 is Lily's Penelope, Colin Kelly for Sheldon Rose. And number 6, that's Maya Bad, Nick Stewart for Vic Putty and Limco Incorporated. Number 7, Together We Run, repping down for Daryl Roberts and Keith Bonner. And Rachel Roberts. 8 is Scratch. 9 is Mo Mara, J.R. Plot for Jonathan LaPointe. Field of 8, race number 11. Let's take a look at this field for the final dash featuring the Super High 5. And we'll start with number 6. That's Maya Bad. Well, look at the year. 13 out of 21 in the top 3. That's pretty good. That's Maya Bad comes in off of a second. In fact, comes in with 5 consecutive top 3 finishes, and overall shows the speed to be a big factor here, and does show the ability to race from off the pace if need be. That's Maya Bad, and Nick Stewart is on the board at 4-1. Number 1, Bob Rebel, though, gets the inside and was a winner from an inside post July the 28th, and that was the third of 3 consecutive top 3 finishes. Now, the last 2 races are not quite as good. Ma Rebel overall is having a fine season. Inside post should help her to bounce back strongly. 4-1, Turk Henry driving for Terry Gallant. Number 2, Salas Sealster was a bit better last race. Maybe could build off of that. Hasn't had an inside post in a few starts, and the last time this one had an inside post, finished 3rd. At Hanover, Salas Sealster, Travis Cullen for Brian Dunbar. 9-time winner last year in 21 starts. Shut out of the win column this year. Zealous Sealster is 5-2. And number 4, Silver Hill Misty, is one that bounced back last race to finish 4th after a last place finish here. The start before it now came first up in that one and tailed away. But a good mile of 56-3 last time out. Only 1 win on the year, but is 8 out of 20 in the top 3. Silver Hill Misty can be a top 3 factor in this dash. And Jason Ryan drives 11-1. Gate is rolling for race 11, Marabelle. Zealous Sealster on the inside. In the center, Hypnotic, Silver Hill Misty, and Lily's Penelope. On the outside, That's Why I Bet. Together We Run. And the second tier, Momera. Field of 8 for race number 11. They're at the top of the stretch. Here they come. Giddy up. And the field for the 11th race is at the start of the round. Hypnotic Key getting out well. Silver Hill Misty, Marabelle, Zealous Sealster. The field charges into the turn. Lily's Penelope is 5th. And then it is back on the inside to Momera. And then we've got That's My Bad. And Together We Run. On down the backstretch they go. And on the lead is Marabelle. Marabelle's got the front. Zealous Sealster is in a good spot right there second. Then Hypnotic Key and Silver Hill Misty. Then it is Lily's Penelope. Momera, That's My Bad, and Together We Run is trailing the field. Marabelle's got the front for Turk Henry. Lead of a length and a half over Zealous Sealster. Hypnotic Key is racing third. Then Silver Hill Misty is 4th, and on the outside, Lily's Penelope. That's My Bad moves to the outside. Momera's on the inside, and Together We Run trails the field. They work their way up to the half off a 27-4 opening quarter, and on past the half they go. Half was 57-4. It is still Marabelle with the lead, challenging Hypnotic Key. They work on into the backstretch, still there in the pocket. Zealous Sealster and Lily's Penelope is racing second over 4th, and is right there tight in the back of Hypnotic Key. 5th of the inside, Silver Hill Misty. That's My Bad is racing 6th, and then it is back to Momera, and Together We Run. They race the backstretch. Marabelle still has the lead. Marabelle. Zealous Sealster is getting a nice trip. 3 wide, Lily's Penelope to go around Hypnotic Key, who's been out a little while and is racing 4th, and then to the inside 5th is Silver Hill Misty. And then it is That's My Bad and Momera. And Together We Run. 3/4 was 127. They turn for home. Zealous Sealster off the trip. Marabelle to the inside. Zealous Sealster and Marabelle on down the stretch drive. Zealous Sealster has got this one. Silver Hill Misty second, Marabelle third, then Lily's Penelope and Momera. 156-2, Zealous Sealster. Wheeling back in front of us, the winner of race number 11. It's number 2, Zealous Sealster, 7-year-old Big Jim Bay Bear, owned by 8th Line Investments. Trained by Brian Dunbar, Travis Cullen is the winning driver. It's the first win this year. 22nd lifetime, Zealous Sealster, victorious in 156-2. Note it is the driving double on the evening for Travis Cullen. The 11th race. Payouts to Zealous Sealster, 510, 350, 250. For Silver Hill Misty, 890, 370. One Ma Rebel, 280. Dollar pick three is 21.65. The $2 exactor, 31.90. Dollar try, 44.40. $2 double, 24.50. Dollar win four, 526.50. Dollar high five, 967.85. The 11th race order finish from the tops at 317-2468, scratch 5. That's 317-2468, scratch 5. Well, fans, that concludes the live harness racing program for this Monday evening. Action resumes on Wednesday. Our first race will go to post at 6:30 p.m. Buenas noches, amigos.